Have you ever cried in front of your dog and noticed they immediately came to you? Most people think their dog is just being sweet, but what's actually happening inside your dog's mind in that moment is something far more complex and far more devoted than you ever realized. Here are 7 things your dog is actually thinking when you cry. 1. They knew before the first tear fell. Here's something that will change the way you think about your dog forever. By the time you started crying, your dog already knew something was wrong. Not because they heard you, not because they saw your face, because they smelled it. This sounds strange until you understand what dogs are actually capable of. The human body undergoes measurable chemical changes when we experience emotional distress. Cortisol levels rise, adrenaline shifts, the subtle chemistry of your skin, your breath, your sweat, all of it changes in ways that are completely invisible to you but entirely readable to your dog. A dog's nose contains up to 300 million olfactory receptors. Humans have around 6 million. That's not just a difference in degree, it's a different dimension of experience entirely. Your dog doesn't just smell your perfume or your shampoo, they smell your emotional state. They smell your fear, your grief, your anxiety, often before you've consciously registered it yourself. Researchers at the University of Naples have studied how dogs respond to human emotional odors. What they found was remarkable. Dogs exposed to the scent of a stressed human showed measurably different physiological responses than those exposed to calm human scent. They weren't just noticing, they were being affected. Your dog doesn't wait for you to break down, they start picking up the signal long before that. And by the time the first tear falls, they've already been watching you for a while. Have you ever noticed your dog seemed unsettled before you even realized you were upset? Tell us in the comments, we hear this more than you'd think. 2. They feel something close to what you feel. For a long time, scientists were reluctant to say that dogs feel empathy. The word felt too human, too loaded. But the research has slowly and consistently moved in one direction. Dogs don't just observe your distress, they experience something in response to it. A landmark study published in the journal Animal Cognition found that dogs were significantly more likely to approach a crying person than a humming or talking person. And they approached with submissive, comforting body language rather than curiosity. They weren't investigating, they were responding. What makes this even more powerful is what happens inside the dog's brain. Neuroimaging studies have shown that when dogs see a human emotional expression, the same reward and emotional processing centers that activate in human brains activate in theirs. Not identical, but structurally analogous. Your dog isn't performing comfort, they are experiencing something that drives them toward you. Some researchers describe it as emotional contagion, the most basic building block of empathy. Your sadness becomes, in a very real neurological sense, something your dog carries too. They don't just see you suffering, they feel the weight of it alongside you. 3. Your cry activates something ancient in them. Dogs have lived alongside humans for somewhere between 15,000 and 40,000 years. That is an enormous span of time. And throughout most of it, the dogs who survived and thrived were not necessarily the fastest or the strongest. They were the ones most attuned to human emotional states. The ones who could read a face, respond to a tone, sense a shift in the room. Over thousands of generations, that attunement didn't just become a skill, it became wiring. The modern dog is, in a very real evolutionary sense, a creature specifically shaped by proximity to human emotion. When you cry, you are not triggering a learned behavior in your dog. You are activating something far older and deeper than training, something that has been refined across millennia of living at the side of humans through grief, through fear, through loss. Your dog responds to your tears not because they were taught to, because on some level, they were built for it. If this is making you see your dog differently, hit like. It helps more people understand what their dogs are really capable of. 4. They're trying to fix it, even though they can't. Watch what your dog actually does when you cry. Do they press their body against yours, lick your face or your hands, whine softly, put their paw on you and hold it there? These are not random behaviors. Each of them is a deliberate attempt at repair. In dog social groups, physical contact is the primary language of comfort. When a dog is distressed, other dogs press close, groom, make physical contact. There is no verbal reassurance in the canine world. There is only presence and touch. When your dog presses against you while you cry, they are doing the only thing they know how to do. They are offering you what would work for them. The licking is particularly significant. Licking releases endorphins in dogs. It's self-soothing and other-soothing at the same time. When your dog licks your tears or your hands during a breakdown, they're not just being affectionate, they're administering the canine equivalent of comfort. They're trying, with every tool available to them, to make the pain stop. And here's what breaks me about this. They can't fix it. They don't understand what's wrong. They don't know how to make it better. but they show up anyway, and they try with everything they have. 5. They choose you over their own comfort. This one is easy to miss because it happens so quietly, but pay attention next time. When you're distressed, your body language changes, your movements become unpredictable, your voice shifts in ways that can be alarming to a dog, high-pitched, broken, erratic. From a purely instinctual standpoint, a distressed human is an unpredictable environment, and unpredictable environments are something dogs are wired to avoid. But bonded dogs don't avoid you when you cry. They move toward you. They override the instinct that says uncertain situation, stay back, and replace it with something stronger. Something that says this is my person and they need me. That choice, to move toward your pain instead of away from it, is not small. It goes against the grain of self-preservation. It is, in the truest sense of the word, a choice made out of devotion, and your dog makes it every single time, without hesitation, without being asked. 6. They remember. Dogs have a form of memory that researchers call episodic-like memory. They don't just retain information about what happened, they retain something of the emotional texture of experiences. And that means your dog doesn't just respond to you crying in the moment. They carry something of that experience forward. Studies have shown that dogs whose owners experience periods of prolonged distress, illness, grief, depression, often develop lasting behavioral changes in response. They become more vigilant, more physically attentive, more likely to stay close, to check in, to insert themselves into your space. Your dog isn't just reacting to this moment of crying. They're building a map of you, of your patterns, your rhythms, your emotional landscape. And every time they've seen you in pain, they've updated that map. They know you better than you think, and part of what they know is exactly what you look like when you're not okay, and that when that happens, you need them close. Has your dog ever stayed closer to you for days after you went through something hard? Drop it in the comments, you're not imagining it. 7. What they need from you in return. Most of this video has been about what your dog does for you, but there's something worth saying about what goes the other way. When your dog comes to you while you're crying, when they press close and lick your face and refuse to leave your side, they are putting themselves in an emotionally activated state to be there with you. The research is clear on this. Being around a distressed human raises cortisol in dogs too. Your pain costs them something. They pay that cost every time, without complaint, without limits, without ever asking for anything back. So here's what they actually need from you. Not much, not complicated, just the same presence they offer you. When they come to you in their own moments of uncertainty or fear, a thunderstorm, a vet visit, a stranger at the door, stay calm, stay close. Don't dismiss what they're feeling, because the attunement your dog offers you is one of the most extraordinary things one living creature can give another, and the least we can do is try, even imperfectly, to give something back. If this video changed the way you think about the dog who shows up when you're at your worst, subscribe to Barkley, because there is so much more to understand about the animal who has been choosing you every single day for your entire life together.